Hey folks, what's good? Welcome back to the Deron Harris Show. I'm Deron Harris. Thank you very much for coming back and joining me this week again. I hope you had a good week this week. I had a pretty decent week. It was really good. Spent some quality time with the wife. That's always great. The weekend was good. Got a good weekend planned this weekend. Gonna go to Orlando and see my sons. Hopefully. My oldest son is in from Los Angeles, so I'm going to try to go down there and check him out for a little while, and also, while I'm at it, pick up my younger son and maybe spend the day with the two of them. My oldest son flies back to Los Angeles on Sunday, so hopefully I'll be able to link up with the both of them. That would really mean a lot, and I think it would do me some good. Mentally, like as far as how I feel mentally about things, because my kids are one of the reasons that, I've gone through what I've gone through, and to be able to spend time with them is very, very important and precious to me. So I want to definitely try and make that happen. My wife is excited as well to kind of spend some time with her stepsons. Maybe we can call over her son and Marcus can meet Deron, which would be great. I would love that because her two kids have not yet met my oldest son. They've both met my youngest son, but they haven't met Deron yet. He was the only one that wasn't at the wedding. So it'll be good for him to kind of get to know his stepmother and for her to kind of get to know her stepson. So that's what's going on in my life this week. It was good. It was pretty good. So today, like I said, I want to talk about the whitewashing of hip hop culture. Now, a lot of people like hip-hop culture. Yeah, I know it's kind of a culture thing, especially white folks, and it's not your fault, and that's fine. But it is for us, it is a whole culture thing. Some of you do get it, but a lot of you don't really get it. You don't really get our culture. You enjoy the music, but you don't really embrace or accept our culture. I'll give you an example. You have somebody that goes out to the clubs. You got a group of white girls at the clubs. And Nelly comes on. It's getting hot in here, so take off all your clothes. And what's happening? They're singing right along with it. And that's good. That's good. That's what it's for. It's to get everybody up and dancing. But how many of those white ladies do you think know anything about black culture or hip hop culture at all? I will say this, white guys do know a little bit more because they listen to hip-hop music as well, and they listen to the harder genres of hip-hop, the harder veins of hip-hop. There's a lot of use of the word nigga. And they bump it in their trucks and their cars, and who can blame them? It's good for loud sound systems, I got to say. If you got a good sound system, you definitely want to play some hip-hop music because that's really what it's made for, is bumping music around town in your car. I mean, if you want to do that. It's made for other things, but it's really good at testing out your sound system. That's been done on purpose. But in regards to that, a lot of white guys do know about hip hop culture, or some about hip hop culture, but not too much. Very few know a lot. I met one guy one time, and he wasn't a rapper or anything. It was just a fan of hip hop music, real hip hop music, like underground hip hop music, like hip hop artists that, some black people don't know. This kid was a student of it. He was a student of hip hop culture. You could see it all the way down to the way he spoke. And when he did speak, he had so much respect for it and so much respect for the pioneers of it that I was taken back. I was thoroughly impressed with this guy. I was like, wow, man, he taught me some shit. It happens. It does happen like that because some white people do love the culture that much. They are very accepting of that culture, of that part of our culture. And it is a gateway to helping them get to know more and learn more about our culture, right? But this is about the whitewashing of hip hop culture, right? While that it may be that this guy has, this affinity and this deep love for hip hop, there are other people on the other side of that spectrum that just listen to it just because it's good background noise, boom, boom, boom. They get to pretend that they're these hardened thugs for just a little while they roll around in their neighborhoods. But when they see some black folks, they're not as down. They're not as militant. And if you think that some of these white kids don't sit in these cars or in their rooms by themselves or amongst their other white friends, and when the parts come up in the song where they say nigger, let me say it like I would say it, where they say nigga, you can best believe they're looking around, and when they feel safe and comfortable, yeah, they say it. It's a word, just like it's a guilty pleasure. The word is a guilty pleasure. It really is. It's like cussing for the first time. Remember when you said fuck for the first time? Remember that? It was like, ooh, I said fuck, yeah. Remember that? It's kind of the same way with that word and everybody else but black people. Excuse me, the only other race of people I will say get the pass for that are Puerto Ricans. It's New York Puerto Ricans in particular. You know what I'm saying? Because we identified long ago that we are all the same people. You know what I'm saying? We all the same people. So in that, and also the hip hop culture in New York really was birthed by the black and Latin culture because, the Latins had a lot to do with it as well. They were catalysts just as much as black folks was. They was right there at the beginning, right with us. So it is an our thing. It is a thing that, these two kindred races kind of share together. You know what I mean? So it's really like a symbiotic thing between especially like I said, especially in New York. I'm not sure about other places, but I know in New York, there's it's a symbiotic type relationship between blacks and Latins in that city. Now that's not to say we don't get angry with each other from time to time, but the one thing that we all can agree on and strike and have a good time with is hip hop. Is hip hop in general, all veins of hip hop music. Hip hop is what drives us. I could say that as a New Yorker. I could say that for that whole area, and the Latins in Philly, the Latins in New Jersey, the Latins in Connecticut, Brooklyn. I mean, in New York, those folks have a symbiotic connection to hip hop and each other. So for a long time, it was that. It was that. In the beginning, all right, let me back it up a little bit. Let me give you a quick hip-hop history lesson. Okay, boys and girls, do you know the birthplace of hip-hop? Now, some of you already know, and if you already know, keep your hands down. Okay, you over there in the back. Yeah, you don't, I can see that a lot of people don't know the origin of where hip-hop actually came from. Now, it came from a lot of different elements in music, but it was culminated and put together on 1520 Sedgwick Avenue in the Bronx by a DJ by the name of Kool Herc. And what he used to do is he would play records, like soul records, like R&B records, like Teddy Pendergrass and up-tempo music but what he would do, though, is when it got to the breaks, what he did is he would loop that and loop that and loop that and loop that until he had a beat, until he had a beat. And then people came behind that beat and they used forms of poetry that they just write, that simple poetry that they wrote to go over these beats. Yes, yes, y'all, and you don't stop. Rock all night, and you don't stop. Say ho, to get parties hyped and started. After a while, you had the birth of the MC, which later on became what we call today rappers. Now, there's a difference between a rapper and an MC. Rappers rap. They take words and they rhyme. MCs, they control the entire place. They not just rapping words. They are in control of the whole party. They're in control of the whole situation. That's an MC, master of ceremonies. Because I'm the master of this ceremony right here. So, in order to be classified as an MC, you had to battle other MCs for your place or your ranking around your block or your neighborhood or whatever. And this is how it was. I mean, I was there. I was MC Magic D. Yeah. And I had a partner. His name was MC Power D. And it was power and magic. We had magic powers. Shout out to Demetrius Walker. What's up, D? We had magic powers, and we used to listen when hip hop first came out. When it first came out, we were in it was me and my brother used to sit in the Bronx. We was living in the Bronx in Co-op City. I was in the 4th, 5th, 6th grade, and we was listening to just breakdowns on 92 KTU was the radio station that we enjoyed our hip hop on. And the other station was 107.5 WBLS. And two of the greatest radio stations in the world to me, by the way. Shout out to both of those stations. 92 KTU, I believe, is something else now, is freestyle music or like I don't know. It's that kind of music now. But shout out to that because they brought a lot of hip hop to New York City. Both of those stations gave hip hop a chance with Cool DJ Red Alert and Mr. Magic and Marley Marl. Those were the two DJs, and every night, every weekend night, we would sit down and we would take our tapes. Me and my brother, we would sit down and we would get our tapes and we would sit down and record all these rap records. And we learned all kinds of rap. Love Bug Starsky, Tila Rock and Mantronics, so many more. The Cold Crush Gang, the Audio 2, the Ultramagnetic MCs, so many real hip hop artists. And that was the birth of hip hop. And it wasn't what it is today. It wasn't violent. It wasn't a violent thing. Hip hop was not violent. It was unity. It brought us together, as a matter of fact. It didn't separate us. It brought us together. It promoted good time and good faith and good fun. It was awesome. I remember me and my crew, after we formed a crew, my man Virgil, we call him V Superior. I think he goes by Majestic now. What's up, Madge? Shout out to my mans. And I remember we used to go to his cousin's house. His cousin had a beat machine, and we used to have to go get the beat. We got to go get the beat. You ready? Yeah, let's go. We got to go to the project. So we got to get gassed up and we got to go get the beat, right? You ready to get it? Yeah, let's go. Let's walk. And we had to walk down to the projects and pick up a beat from Virgil's cousin. We'd sit there and he'd make us a beat. And then what we would do is we would go to the skating rink. And we had shirts made and everything. We would go to the skating rink and we would rap against other rappers, other MCs. And it was fun. And we would battle each other, verbally. And the other part of hip hop came along with that. The other part of hip hop came along, which was breakdancing. I breakdance too. I'm all elements of hip hop. Okay? I breakdance, I graffiti write, my fashion is hip hop, I rap, I do everything. I'm a DJ, I do everything in hip hop culture. I am the epitome of hip hop. I love it to my bones. I love other music too, but hip hop is my first music of choice. I'm always looking for the hip hop station. If you ask me or turn the radio on Indeed, you could just expect right off the bat, I'm looking for some sort of hip hop. Now I'm older now, so I'm looking with some hip hop with a little bit more substance, but it's always going to be some form of hip hop. So what is hip hop? Hip hop is rhythmic poetry that tells stories of urban people, specifically about black and brown culture. It is social commentary about the life in our societies, about the black and brown culture, the black and brown experience in these societies. Because let's face it, folks, America ain't never been great for black folks, and it's probably not been great for Latin folks either. You know what I'm saying? POCs, any POCs anyway, any people of color, it hasn't really been that great as a collective. You know what I'm saying? Maybe individuals are having a great time and don't see it, but as a collective, it's never really been a great country for anyone except for white people. And hip hop is a lot like the blues. It was forged out of heartache and poverty and tough times, and this was a way to have good times or to bring your spirits up when time got rough. And damn sure it did. We crowded around the radio to record, and then we would come down to Florida with these tapes, and we would spread them around to our cousins, and we would leave some behind. And man, this was a world premiere, and they didn't hear this music. They didn't hear it. There was no internet, so they didn't really get the music the way we got it up there, because that's where it came from. So nobody really got it. But after a while, people started getting it, and slowly but surely around the country, as we all know, you started getting East Coast, West Coast rap, down South rap, Midwest rap. You know what I'm saying? But it was mainly black and brown participants, black and brown artists. But then, close to the pioneering of hip hop, which they are, some of the pioneers of hip hop, and one of my favorite hip hop groups were the Beastie Boys. It was the first white rap group. Major rap group. First white major rap group. The Beastie Boys. Some of you black people are like, what? Who? Word? The rock dudes? Nah, man. The Beastie Boys, especially actually, I love all their albums, but their first album, dope. A lot of stuff that you hear, I'm going to tell you what. If you hear a beat with a reverse drum track, that came from the Beastie Boys' Paul Revere. That was Paul Revere. Now, here's a little story I got to tell. It was dope. And we were together. Hip hop took a turn for the worst, though. It really did. It took a turn for the worst when our neighborhoods started taking a turn for the worst. And this is, hip hop is the news of the streets. This is what we started writing about. The tragedies in the street, the crack game, pimps and hoes, robbing and stealing, shooting and killing each other over these things, by the way. Poor socioeconomical status. All these things played a factor in the development and the forging of hip-hop today. I mean, you had all kinds of veins. You have conscious rap, you have gangster rap, you have, there's a few other types. I can't name them all right now. I should have probably did a little bit more research, but you've heard many types of rap, many types of hip-hop. Everybody has. It's all a form of hip-hop. And a lot of music is derived from hip-hop, like drum and bass and jungle. Those musics, a lot of it's derived from hip-hop. Those are hip-hop beats sped up and added bass lines. That's a vein of hip-hop. So hip-hop has influenced a lot of type of music also. So let's get into it. I've gone over it. Well, the 4 categories of hip-hop are rapping or MCing, breakdancing, graffiti writing, and hip-hop fashion. Like I said, I am all of that. There's types. Okay, here it is. Types of hip-hop, types of rap: conscious rap, gangster rap, pop hop, party anthems, country rap, and gospel rap. There's gospel hip-hop and some nice dudes out there that nobody really gives a chance because it's gospel. Can't expect me to listen to gospel music, can you? Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to seek salvation? But yeah, gospel. And there is white rap. And it's starting to become more and more prominent. There are some very high-profile white rappers. There are. And I started with the first one, which were the Beastie Boys. But then after the Beastie Boys, you got another really good rap group in third base. Third base, MC Search, that white kid could rap. Search could rap his ass off. Search was, and gets mad love and mad respect in the hip-hop culture because he was one of those kids who embraced and loved the culture. Vanilla Ice, on the other hand, was a person who used hip-hop to gain notoriety and fame. He got paid off of our culture. He was the first person to get paid really off of maybe Blondie. But Vanilla Ice was the first person to really get paid off of, I was this hip-hop dude, and turned out to be not that hip-hop dude. Just a white guy. And years later came clean about it. Shout out to Vanilla Ice for manning up and being honest about what you really and what you really stand for, you know what I mean? Which is cool. No problems. But then you had House of Pain, right? Now, House of Pain, hip-hop started getting edgy for white folks, a little bit edgy. Now, House of Pain, while they was, I think Everlast was the lead MC for House of Pain, but they were Irishmen, and they were into Irish things, and, they were very pro-white, which is not a bad thing. Okay, be pro-white. Be proud of yourself. Be happy for yourself. That's cool. You don't have to be, you don't have to hate yourself. They came out with some good music, Jump Around, but I think that was the only thing that they really had that was really, but they did, they was all right. Everybody jumped around. I jumped around. Didn't you jump around? Motherfuckers was jumping around. But then after that, it got serious. Because then you started getting rappers, you got Eminem. Eminem came along. And at first, they gave this cat so much shade. It's not even funny. When they really shouldn't have, because he was there for real. He was there right there for real. He went through the trials and tribulations to be the MC that he is today. Look at him. He's a beast. He's a lyrical beast. And always will be. There's other people that say, I could get him now. I'm better than him. Like The Game thinks that he's better than Eminem. The Game is a great rapper, but I really don't think he's better than Eminem. I just don't. M goes places that a lot of rappers don't go, and previously to him, a lot of rappers never went. especially white rappers. NWA, the West Coast, they started really kind of doing it up with the gangster rap. So that rivalry between the East Coast and West, that started and fueled with the drug war. That started the East Coast West Coast hip hop beef, and it was big beef. People got killed. Two of the greatest rappers in history, Biggie and Tupac, casualties of the East Coast West Coast rap war, which is fucking stupid. Because we didn't get it back then. New Yorkers didn't get it. We looked at other people wanting to rap and make beats or rap over as you biting my style, as opposed to looking at it as a form of flattery. They were so enthralled by what New Yorkers were doing that everybody wanted to do it. And now it's the same thing with hip hop. Everybody, all genres, every people around the world has a form of hip hop. They're so enthralled by hip hop that they copy it and make it. There's a French guy named Peter. That dude can rap in French. You know what I'm saying? But he's hot shit. Girls, like I said, gay rappers, Lil Nas X can rap. Like it or not, gay, straight, or indifferent, whatever, that dude can rap. But then after Eminem, you got like, there was a genre of white rappers that came out that appealed to white college students. And it was poppy. It was pop. I called it, it's white hop is what I called it. And that's what it was. It was poppy, white hop. And there was a lot of rappers, and some rappers that actually came out of there. There's one notable rapper that actually came from the white hop and made the crossover into actual hip hop, which I love this cat dearly, and I'm sad that he's gone, was Mac Miller. Now, I love Mac Miller, and he started out as one of these bubblegummy college party white guy rappers that appealed to the young white college crowd and that crowd, not the original hip hop heads. They were trying to build a fan base for white hip hop, which, okay, cool. But Mac Miller, something came over that cat, and he started seeking actual knowledge in that actual game, and ended up being well loved in the genre by countless like hip hop celebrities, and even godfathers like Snoop, you know what I mean, like Dre, Jay-Z, like all these cats. A lot of cats loved it for Mac Miller. He was really doing his thing. Logic was another cat. I really liked his message. His message was about mental health. A lot of people tried to shut him down because, oh, well, you soft. Nah, man, he's talking about something that's real, that everybody's feeling. You know? He really was. I listened to that song that he made about suicide, 1-800, whatever the 1-800 whatever it was, I can't remember, but it was a really good song, man. It was a great song to put out. Great song. And I think one of his label mates, Joyner Lucas, put out a song called I'm Not Racist. If you have not seen that video, please, everybody, go look at it. It's by a cat named Joyner Lucas, and the song is called I'm Not Racist. Great song. Anyway, then you got Post Malone, you have Action Bronson, and another rapper that I like, which is Yellow Wolf. That cat can rap too. Then you got G-Eazy, Machine Gun Kelly, which him and Eminem got beef now. You got two white rapper beef, which I think that's kind of wild in itself. But that's okay, cool. It's good for the genre. White rapper beef. Got Macklemore, Little Dicky, Asher White, and I do like this last guy, Paul Wall. Now, if I didn't shout your name out, I'm sorry I didn't get to you, but this list of rappers, there's a mixed bag in here. All of these dudes, I've listened to all of their music, and I have enjoyed music from all of these people. Okay? I will just go ahead and say that. They all make pretty good-ass music. But who are they really making it for? You know what I mean? Who are they really making it for? I could tell you a couple of these cats, they're making it for the urban audience, not the other audience, if you get what I'm saying. They're making it for the audience that it was that it was made for originally, but B, all the other people that have come to that genre from other walks of life who have learned and embraced and incorporated this genre as part of their daily life, not just something that they visit when they party every now and then. You know what I'm saying? It comes, it really does become an absolute part of you. No matter what it is you do. If you are a break dancer, a graffiti writer, it becomes part of you. Hip hop becomes that part of you. And hip hop, as we have seen, is all accepting. Now there's some genres of white rap that I'm kind of baffled with. And that is white rap from the right wing. Yes, folks, there is right wing rap. I dare not call it hip hop because it's not. But I will say, I have listened to some right wing rap. And some of these dudes got some flow, man. Some of these dudes got some actual flow. Some of these dudes actually, they get it in. But their agenda, but we showed them that. We showed them that. But look at what they're using it for. They're using it to empower their ideology. We use it to perpetuate our shortcomings, the problems in our communities. We have very few black and brown rap artists that lift us up in their music. We are the only genre of people that have to talk bad about ourselves. We have to be hypersexualized or super, hyper, violent in order to get a record deal towards our own people. I heard a man say that the record labels were okay with records about promoted killing black people as long as it was promoted to black people and not white people. Marketed and promoted to black people and not white folks. That's racist as fuck and hurtful as hell. That's, and I just don't understand how that could come about. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Now, back to the right-wing rap agenda. These guys are pushing their agenda, and there are right-wing rappers. There are white right-wing rappers, and there are black right-wing rappers that support the ideology of the far right. I don't get it. That's baffling to me. I just can't get it. Clayton Bigsby, like right here in your face. My bad. I'm sorry. But I mean, I don't get it. I understand why a lot of people use hip hop culture, because it is a quick way to burn something into your brain. It really is. Beats are great, lyrics are catchy, clever, thought out, great. I saw on, I had to change the subject and I'll get back on the subject again in here in a second, but I saw on YouTube there was a trio. It was 3 people, but it was 2 rappers, okay? It was an old white dude, and it was an old white lady. And they had a song called Jesus Christ is My Nigga. Look it up. I think it's still out there. It's hilarious. It is absolute hilarious. It's so funny that I actually have forgiven these people for calling Jesus Christ a nigga. It's hilarious. It really is. I fucking love it. I actually have it saved on one of my social media platforms when I want to show people something that I think is extremely hilarious. That's what I show them. One of the things that I show them is that clip. And it's just funny. And hip hop, hip hop is just one of those things, man, that everybody thinks that they could do it, but they are wrong. Everybody can't do hip hop. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've watched people straight up butcher hip hop in every form, from graffiti to breakdancing to the fashion, and yes, definitely to the rapping. I've seen the butchery of hip hop over and over and over again by everybody. And yes, also by black people. Yes, we butcher hip hop just as well. We have a little bit easier time getting on the horse, but you get what I'm saying. So, there's a few rappers that push the right-wing rap. One of them is Tom McDonald. Another one is Lil Pump. Those are white rappers that push the hard right agenda. There's a few more, I'm not gonna name them all, but I bet you guys didn't know that there are also some famous black hip hop stars that promote that right agenda as well. Bet you didn't know that. I didn't know it either. And I got to tell you, I was devastated when I found out about a couple of them. And I will tell you who they are. But first, I'm going to take a break, go to the bathroom, get myself a drink, check on my wife, squeeze the booty a little bit, and then come back in here and get back to the Deron Harris Podcast, folks. Be right back.
Hi, I'm Dave. I was once a scroll troll, lost in countless amounts of social media videos, feeling triggered by other people's feelings and opinions about topics I would enjoy. I would lash out and give feedback every time. To feel so attached to what others were saying was dangerous for my mental health. Choosing to leave social media and my connected devices for a day gave me a perfect detox and allowed me to become more set in reality. No more stressing over comments, just relaxation knowing that I cannot let others' opinions bother me, giving me a sense of protection from the negativity. I feel like I've strengthened my mentality. So if you ever feel the pressure of social media controlling your emotions, remember, you have a choice to put the device down and pick up life.
Hey folks, what's up? Welcome back to the show. It's your boy D. If you are just joining me today, I'm talking about white hop, the whitewashing of hip hop culture. Before I left, though, I was talking about hip hop and politics and how some, well, not really, well, like I said, I won't call it hip hop. Some rap is geared towards the right wing, which I don't get that. I don't get it. But it's not all white rappers that are on this right agenda. It's not all white rappers. I was taken back by that. I was shocked. I was like, oh yeah? Well, who? Is it somebody Asian? Nope. Is it somebody Indian? No. I got it. Native American. Strike 3, motherfucker. No, it was black people. Some black rappers. And not just that, some black notable rappers. I mean, notable rappers that support a right agenda. I'm not sure how far right they lean, but they definitely lean to the right. I think that's a conflict of interest. But people keep their politics to themselves, and they kind of just let the surface happen. That's fine. So, I got to tell you, I was really, really shocked to find out some of these people. I was shocked. I mean, the reason I wanted to rap is because of this guy. The reason I wanted to be a hip hop dude was because of this guy. I was devastated when I found out that LL Cool J leans to the right. He leans to the right. I don't know. He must like the way they say his name. LL Cool J instead of LL Cool J like it was. I don't know. Lil Wayne leans to the right. He had a meeting with Trump about prison reform back in 2020. Who else? Kodak Black also, because he got released from prison by Trump. So he actively was like, yeah, you my man. I guess if you let me out of jail, I might kind of like you too. We all know that Kanye is, but I bet you didn't know that Ice Cube was. Ice Cube leans to the right. So does 50. 50 leaned to the right. As well as Waka Flocka. Just to name a few. I got to say, I was confused. I was very confused about the black right-wing hip-hop artist. The black Republican hip-hop artists. And there's a movement of black Republicans. There just is. But I was specifically taken back by the hip-hop culture because I always thought that was the reason that hip-hop came about, was because of the laws and the oppression of the right and some of the left. But the right, they're just brazen and blatant with their shit. They make rap songs about going against the establishment. Some of these artists that I mentioned make songs about going against the establishment. And now I find out that you vote for the establishment? Come on, y'all. Come on. But okay, all right. I mean, if that's what you want to do, who am I to pass judgment on you? I'm not passing judgment on you. Like I said, I just find it peculiar. I find it strange, and I wouldn't do that myself. But still great rappers. Still great rappers. Will not take that away from them. Will not take that away from them. Excellent, groundbreaking, history-making rappers. Honestly, I think hip-hop and politics should stay out of it, but that's like every other type of music. They had so much anti-war music at Woodstock, but that was it. They had anti-war music, not anti-each other music. I don't know, man. I'm sitting here and kind of in deep thought. I'm sorry about the long pause, but I'm kind of just in deep thought about this subject because, sometimes I'm on the fence with it. Because this is why sometimes I hate this, or I hate it, because none of these white rappers, not a single white rapper that I mentioned, not one of them had to mention killing another white person, had to mention misogynistic things or derogatory references to women. None of them had to make any of that to get a record deal. Did you notice that? You think about that for a minute? None of them had to talk about no gangster shit at all in order to get a record deal. But meanwhile, somebody who's socially conscious trying to put you on, they find it hard to give them radio play, but people out here talking about robbing you and killing you, whatever, what happens in the hood, they bump that shit all over the world. Just came in here excited. So, but, like I was saying, none of these people had to talk about any of those subjects to get a record deal. And it almost seems like all of our rappers, or all of our, except for the early ones, all of our rappers had to really talk about these type of things in order to get a record deal. Why? Because it perpetuated that ideology in our communities. You notice that, folks? We could have changed that. And we still can, really, believe it or not. I think that we can. But it's going to require that the young people, actually give a fuck about it. They care enough to make more music that celebrates black people, celebrates brown people, people of color. Make more celebratory music. We need to celebrate. We need to celebrate blackness. We do. We need to celebrate who we are. We must. Instead of tearing each other down. We got to stop it. As simple as that. I wish the Lord or somebody could lay some hands on Chicago. Come on, fellas. Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap it up. We still killing our leaders. Nipsey Hussle. Let's wrap it up, y'all. Let's wrap this up. You know what I'm saying? Because we can get deals other ways. We don't have to rely on white record executives anymore to distribute our music or give us record deals. We can do it ourselves now. We can get famous and do it ourselves now. We don't need your major label now. We don't need you. We don't need you telling us what type of music we can and can't play on your label, because there's labels who will let us say what we want. That'll promote our music just as rigorously. Maybe not with as much money, but hey, at least the right message is getting out, right? And that's all I really want, is for the right message to get out, because we've spent years, almost 50 years doing the opposite. Almost 50 years of beating it into our heads that bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. Great song, by the way. Great hip hop song, by the way. Shout out to Snoop. But I'm serious though. We have to. Got to get a hold on it. Now, what was I saying before? Oh yeah. Like I said, we didn't have to do that. White rappers, I don't want you to stop. I really don't. I think it's great that there's diversity in hip hop. But all I ask for white rappers is, if you're going to embrace our music, then you need to embrace our culture as well. You need to embrace who we are as a people as well. You need to be thankful for where you get this from, because you didn't create this. Because I'll tell you this right now, white rappers are called unique, they're called groundbreaking, they're called pioneers, they're called brave, while black rappers are called thugs, criminals, drug dealers, and murderers. You feel me? So y'all, even in this genre, you've been born with a so-called silver spoon in your mouth, because you didn't have to go through any of the struggle that a lot of these artists went through to be and get to where they are, who they are and where they are. Dead ass. So you need to be thankful for it. Now, the other side of me is like, I'm angry because sometimes I feel like we just gave it to them. We just gave it to them. We didn't do it. We stood idly by, let them take it, let them brand it, we gave it to them for the promise of money. Oh yeah, if you talk about this, we'll give you this, da-da-da. If you talk about that, and just, we gave it to them. We saturated our own people with messages of hate and destruction because we brought our best, or what we thought, and they told us in order to do this, you had to do that. And we believed it. We believed it. But you know what? We didn't give it to them. We didn't give it to them. A lot of it was confiscated from us. A lot of it was just adapted. A lot of it was just plagiarized and taken. And those are the things that get me upset, is when people take advantage of it because they want to make some money behind it. Like when you see a McDonald's hip-hop commercial, or you hear a whack-ass hip-hop beat, or you see a workout video with some white girls on the front talking about hip-hop dance. This chick knows nothing about hip-hop, and she's out here trying to teach you how to hip-hop dance. Doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. Breakdancing is different. Let me tell you why breakdancing is different. Because breakdancing is a level of skill. You have to have a certain level of athletic skill in order to perform some of the tricks. Ask me how I know. I'm a breakdancer. But I will say this. When I started breakdancing, I went out to California, and it was a different kind of hip-hop out there. But there was also breakdancing, a lot more, a different kind of breakdancing out there. I started breaking in New York, but they weren't breaking like they were breaking in California. When I got to California, they were better. They were more refined. I hate to say it like that, being from New York and all, but I learned how to break in California. And I'll tell you what. There were kids from all over the place, including one white kid. There was one white kid. His name was Speedy. And I wish I could find this guy. Anybody who knows a guy named Speedy who lived in Murphy Canyon at one time, tell him to DM me if you know this dude, man. I'd love to talk to this cat again. He was awesome. He was awesome. Really good friend of mine, man. Really good friend. Lost track of him, but he was a white cat that listened to urban music, that hung around not just black people, but Asian people. He hung around Latin people, Indian people. And the reason why is because we were all military kids. We all lived on the military base. So there were kids from all over the place, all over the world. All over the world that was being exposed to hip hop and hip hop culture. All over the world. Worldwide hip hop. I mean, just worldwide. Blowing up like nitro. Word. And it's so funny that now that hip hop is blown up like nitro, there's still some people out there that still want to stick the knife through the windpipe slow. We got to wake up. Got to wake up. Got to wake up. Got to wake up. Okay. Next, I want to talk about what happened. How this happened. What happened? You know, what happened? What made white people brave enough to start rapping? And not only that, take it to a forum where they could actually be heard. And I'll tell you what it was. It was white people in the same socioeconomical status as us. That's how it came about. They shared the same experiences. A lot of them. That's how it started. A lot of them shared the same experiences that we shared. The real ones. I'm talking about the real ones. I'm not talking about all the fake bullshit. I'm talking about the real ones. I'm saying they went through the struggle. Yellow Wolf. That dude went through the struggle. Eminem. That cat went through the struggle. And here they are. Hats off and much respect. And I'm going to take back, I'm going to recant my earlier statement. We gave it to them. We gave it to them. We gave it to everybody. We gave it to them. We gave it to everybody on the planet. You want to know how we gave it to them? We gave it to them when we started caring more about hustling in the streets than each other. When we started caring more about taking the block over instead of cleaning it up, we gave it to them. When we started caring less about our fellow black and brown brothers and sisters and started caring more about money, we gave it to them. When we started caring more about going and gang banging and shit out here in the streets, Chicago, come on, y'all. We gave it to them. We're giving it to them. But we really gave it to them when we started really thinking that we was better than one another. All these black and brown people thinking that they're better than other black and brown people. It took our whole mind, whole focus off the prize. Took the whole focus right off the prize. It's got to be something different. Hip-hop's got to change. Otherwise, it is going to become one of those genres where, you know, there's not very many of the pioneers left in it. People just using it as a catalyst to get money and walk around with, you know, a bunch of money in their hands, you know, and that's the younger generation. But that was also my generation also, because I seen plenty of motherfuckers taking pictures with money and Uzis and Mercedes Benz and pit bulls and shit like that. You got to stop. We got to stop, because that's what we are portraying to ourselves. We're projecting to ourselves. Oh, this is what we see in the streets. Well, then clean up the street. It's that simple. Clean up the street. I don't know how else to fucking say it. Clean it up. Just clean it up. Just clean it up. It's so crazy because it's not just hip hop. We do it with so many other things. We give our culture and our heritage away, and they take it and run with it and do with it what we should have done with it, but never did with it. They take our neighborhoods. They taking all kinds of stuff from us. They're taking it from us. They're not even asking if we can have that. But okay. All right. But on a serious note, I do think and I do applaud all the white rappers. I really do. I really do. And this is, I'm not being funny. I'm not trying to be, I'm not trying to be a douchebag. I'm really genuine. I really want to say hats off to you guys because you did. You guys put the work in to get what you wanted, which was a life in hip hop, which is not a bad life, which I'm sure that you guys are understanding. And that's cool. And like I said, as long as y'all keep it real, you'll always have a fan in me. But to the white rappers out there that represent nothing but hate, to the white rappers out there that the only thing they're trying to do is get rich off the genre, to all the rappers, white rappers out there that don't put in the legwork, like the Island Boys, them assholes, fuck y'all, okay? From the deepest reaches of my balls, fuck y'all. I think that is going to do it for this episode of the Deron Harris Podcast. I had fun talking about this. I really did. I had fun talking about this subject. I want to invite any white rappers or any rappers, any I don't care, any race of rappers. I'm inviting you guys. Hit me in my DM, man. Hit me, male, female, I don't care, gay, transgender, I don't care. If you rap, hit my DM. Let's have a conversation because, like I said, hip hop is everywhere now, and hip hop touches everybody. Yes, there are some assholes that use it as a catalyst to make money, and they have no affinity to it, but real hip-hop touches people. It touches people. And those people are kindred spirits. You feel me? Those people are kindred spirits. They are joined together by the bond and the love of hip-hop, hip-hop, hip-hop. I love hip-hop. I always will love hip-hop. Thank you, hip-hop, for being my lifeline a lot. I really do want to say thank you to all the great rappers out there, all the rappers that sucked to give us the gauge or the litmus test. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank everybody involved. Even the record executives who gave the first gangster rap, hip hop, that gave us a voice. Somebody who actually gave us a voice that let us say what we really wanted to. Thank you for that. So that's going to do it for me, folks. I want to thank my wife, my mother, and my father. I want to thank my guests. I want to thank my best friend for, putting my podcast together. And I want to thank the label and the person who gives me the platform, Mr. Gentry Thomas. Thank you very much for letting me do this on your platform. I really do appreciate it. And with that being said, I have a couple of white friends that have a hip-hop station. And it's actually pretty dope. If you guys are into it, I really think that you should download the Shaq Fu Radio app in the App Store or in the Play Store if you're on Google. But I think It's in both places. You can get it anywhere. You can also go to shackfooradio.com and check it out. They play all the great classics. They have great mixes. They got cool DJ Red Alert that submits mixes from every now and then. Shaquille O'Neal is the namesake of the station, and he turns in mixes. I'm a DJ. Hell, man, I might throw in a couple of mixes, and you can listen to me on my podcast, and you can listen to me on Shack Fu Radio. Put it together on the 1 and 2s for hip hop, baby. So, again, thank you folks very much for tuning in to the Deron Harris Podcast. Join me next week where I think what I'm going to be talking about, you know what? I'm going to save it. It'll be a surprise like it is every week. So I'm going to go in the house and puff, puff, pass. Puff, puff, pass to myself and turn on some hip hop. Thanks for listening, y'all. Peace.